Let's talk about methamphetamine withdrawal. What's up, you guys? My name's Nicole Pludre. I'm a person in long-term recovery, and I love to talk about drugs, addiction, recovery, and so much more. I've been sober for 8 years, and my main drug of choice, like if you lined me up and you put all drugs in front of me and said, which drug do you choose? Which drug is your favorite? Was methamphetamine. So I have a lot of experience with it. I talk a lot about meth because I want to help other people that are struggling with meth addiction get sober and change their lives. So let's get into this question. It says, if I may ask, are you just talking about the mental withdrawal as in you really want to do it, or do you still get physical withdrawals like cold sweats? So I've been off of methamphetamine for 8 years, so I don't have any physical withdrawal from methamphetamine. And I will be honest with you, the majority of my meth withdrawal, whenever I was coming off methamphetamine, was more mental. Yeah, I felt like shit because I would run my body into the ground. I would go days and days without sleeping and eating. I would be extremely dehydrated. My body would be really sore. I would have a lot of like aches and pains. And, but for the most part, it would be very mental. Like I would be super depressed. Like I'm talking about suicidal, wanting to end it all, coming off of methamphetamine. And I really think not enough people talk about the mental part of the withdrawal from meth and how low of a place you get into. And the reason why that is because when you're doing methamphetamine produces more dopamine in your brain than any other drug does. Okay? It produces more dopamine in your brain than sex or eating chocolate or having an orgasm. Methamphetamine is the ultimate dopamine rush, okay? But what is on the other side of that? Well, when you are getting sober from methamphetamine addiction, you are crashed. Your dopamine is so depleted, and you have to have dopamine to function, to live, to be able to do everyday tasks, to be able to be a human being. And so imagine depleting it down to the point where it doesn't just bounce back. It took me years to heal my brain from the damage that I did with methamphetamine. So when I talk about craving meth or thinking about meth or it being one of my only drugs that I really struggle with triggers for, I'm talking about my mental. I'm talking about having very low dopamine levels still and struggling with, bouts of really bad depression. I was in a depression for about 2 or 3 years that I just broke out of in November of 2022. What are you guys' experiences? When you came off meth, did you experience what I'm talking about? Just the total depletion of dopamine and the depression like nothing you've ever experienced before in your life? Let's talk about it down in the comment section. I want to hear from you guys. And what I do to combat that is I go to therapy. I keep snitching on my motherfucking addiction. I talk to anybody that will listen. When I'm struggling, I'm having cravings, I'm having thoughts of using, I tell on my disease. I talk to people about what I'm going through. And that's what helps me stay accountable. I have been walking 4 miles every day. That also is really helping me with my mental health and just clarity and dopamine and feeling more of a human being. I also journal a lot, you guys. I write a lot about how I'm feeling every day and the things that I think about throughout the day. If you have some pointers to help people that are going through, early recovery or just struggling, with triggers to methamphetamine, also put those down in the comments down below. Also, you guys, if you want to check out my series, it's called Life After Meth Addiction. I talk about everything in the series. I talk about the depression. I talk about whether or not you get your energy back. I talk about sex after getting off methamphetamine. So if you are interested and you want to support me in that way, please click this little orange link right here that says My Life After Meth and check out my series.